dimensionless number and they are significant. So we start with the very famous number, that is Reynolds number. So what it define, how it is defined? Reynolds number. So Reynolds number is defined as the ratio of the inertia force to the viscous force. Mathematically we can write as the Reynolds number, it is indicated by Re, equals to the inertia force divided by the viscous force. What is inertia force? It is force associated with the motions of mass. So it is mass into the accelerations. Force, inertia force equals to mass into accelerations. Mass we can write as a density into volume, and acceleration is the length per the t to the power 2. And we know that suppose volume is there, we can take as a L to the power 3 for the volume. Here it is also L divided by T to the power 2. I can rearrange it, rho into L by T to the power 2 into L to the power 2. So finally we get rho into V square into L to the power 2. So this is my inertia force. Now viscous force, how I can write as a viscous force? All of you know the tau shear stress, which is equals to mu del u by del y. This is stress. If you multiplied stress with the area, so it becomes a force. So viscous force is shear stress into the area. So viscous force equals to tau into area, and tau equals to mu del u by del y into area. Area means L to the power 2. I can write as L to the power 2. And u means a velocity, so I can write as the v upon this distance y I indicated with the L, it is L square, so one is as I cancel it out, so we get mu v into L. And finally I can write the Reynolds number equals to rho v square L square divided by mu v into L. And finally we get rho v into L divided by mu. Or if your characteristics length is diameter, then generally formula we use rho vd by mu. So this is the Reynolds number. Reynolds number is very important number, and it indicates the relative importance of the inertia and the viscous effect. Means which one is dominant. Suppose the fluid flow is take place, and basis on the Reynolds number you can be identified that in this flow analysis which force is having a more importance, either it is the inertia forces or it is a viscous force. At low value of Reynolds number, the viscous effect is dominant, means inertia force is very less compared to the viscous force, and that's why the flow is a laminar. At high Reynolds number, the inertia effect is lead to the turbulence flow, means viscous is very less. So Reynolds number is very useful to identify the flow is laminar or it is turbulence, and basis on this turbulence or laminar flow we can identify or we can able to calculate the relationship between the other factors and the convective heat transfer coefficient. So Reynolds number constitute an important criteria of kinematics and dynamic similarities in force convections. This is very important. Whenever the fluid is moved with the help of some mechanical elements in this kind of convection, this Reynolds number have a significant values. So Reynolds number is applicable in the force convections. Now let's move towards the next number, Prandtl number. So Prandtl number is the ratio of kinematic viscosity to the thermal diffusivity. So kinematic viscosity, first let me write kinematic viscosity. It is indicated by curly V, which is equals to mu divided by rho, where mu is the dynamic viscosity and this is rho is a density of fluids. And if you know the next, that is a thermal diffusivity, which is indicated by alpha, which is equals to K by rho Cp. K is a thermal conductivity and rho is a density and Cp is the specific heat. So we can write diffusivity, that is a thermal conductivity divided by the heat capacity. Now it is, if Prandtl number is there, then we can write as a Prandtl equals to the ratio of these two, and that's why we can define as V divided by alpha. It is equals to V divided by alpha, and we get here V means mu upon rho, and here it is K by rho into Cp. So finally the expression becomes mu into Cp divided by K. Now what is the significance of this Prandtl number? Prandtl number is very important. It shows the difference, or it shows the importance between the hydrodynamic boundary layers and the thermal boundary layers, because it shows the relationship between the kinematic viscosity and the thermal diffusivity, and both having the unit of meter square per second. If you calculate the unit meter square per seconds, and that's why it is cancel it out and you get the dimensionless number, that is a Prandtl number. So the kinematic viscosity is show that how the momentum is diffused, and thermal diffusivity is show that how the energy is diffused. So it shows the relationship between the kinematic diffusions as well as the thermal diffusion, and that's why it is very important. And for the Prandtl number for the gas is equals to 1. What it indicates? The thermal diffusions as well as the momentum diffusions both are happening at the same rate. Means the momentum transfer in the fluid as well as the thermal transformations will take place at the same rate in the gas, and that's why the Prandtl number value is 1 for gases. And as the fluids are changing, suppose if you have a liquid metals, then the Prandtl number value lies in the range of 0.003 to 0.1. So this is a very important number. Now let's move for the second number, that is Nusselt. Nusselt is important number because Nusselt is having the formula roughly HL by K, where K is of a fluid. If you remember the Biot number, then Biot number is also having a formula same, but here it is a solid, because at that time of transient heat conductions we analyze using the Biot number. Biot number is show the indications of K solids, means the solid fluid solid surfaces, and here it shows the thermal conductivity of fluids. So Nusselt number is established a relationship between the coefficient of the heat transfer and the thermal conductivity of fluid. This is very important. In Biot number you have to take the thermal conductivity of solids, where in the Nusselt number you have to take the thermal conductivity of fluids. And the significant length means the characteristics length, and it is depends on the orientations and geometry of the surfaces. In other words, suppose I want to define the Nusselt number, then it is defined from, like say, the heat for the first layer is transfer, that is by the Ka del T by del Y equals to 0, that is a conductions, equals to the convections, because it takes by the another layer of fluids by convections. So suppose I make a subject that H, then it becomes h equals to minus k. My a is cancel it out, so minus k dt by dy at y equals to 0 divided by ts minus t infinite. And if you have this value, if you have hl by k, then it becomes the minus del t by del y at y equals to 0 divided by the t minus tf into L. So this is the significant, or in other words, we can also write that the convective heat transfer coefficient, how it takes the heat. So finally, our conclusive points for the Nusselt number. Nusselt number is very important, and it is only number from which you can be able to calculate the convective heat transfer coefficient. So student, you must have to remember in every numericals of the convection, we are going to calculate the Nusselt number, and basis on the Nusselt number, we are going to calculate the H, and from H we are able to calculate the Q. So it is, in another words, it is defined as the convections. The heat transfer through the fluid layer is by convections when the fluid involves some motions, and by the conductions when the fluid layer is as motionless. Means at basic level it is conductions, and here it is convections. Now we are moving towards the next number, that Grashof number. Grashof number is indicating the buoyant forces, means the combined effect of inertia and buoyant forces over the viscous, where the Reynolds number is generating the relations or the relative dominance of inertia and viscous only. Here it is very important, buoyant forces, and buoyant forces are generated due to the density difference. If you remember, in natural convections we have the phenomena and the motions. If you refer the mechanisms happens in the natural convections, that is a convective currents, or it is a buoyant forces, and that's why the Grashof numbers dominance in the free convections. So Grashof number is represented by Gr, which is equals to the inertia force into the buoyant forces upon the viscous force. Suppose I am writing down the buoyant forces is nothing but m into g. So I write the inertia force, that is rho L square V square into buoyant is m into g. So rho into L cube, that is rho into volume, into g is a gravitational constant, into the volumetric expansion into delta t, divided by the viscous force that we have already discussed. Here it is viscous to the power 2. So it is rho V, or sorry, it is mu V into L. It is mu V into L whole to the power 2. And by simplifications, what we get? We get beta G. You can remember in that way, beta G delta T L to the power 3 rho to the power 2 divided by V to the power 2. So in here it is mu to the power 2. So in this way you can remember the Grashof number formula: beta G delta T L to the power 2 into rho to the power 2 divided by mu to the power 2, and it having a dominance in the inertia forces and buoyant force over the viscous force, and that's why it is very much useful in the free convections. Now there is another number that is called as Stanton numbers. Stanton number is the ratio of the heat transfer coefficient to the flow of heat per unit temperature rises due to velocity of fluids. So here I can write as Stanton number equals to H into delta T divided by rho Vc. Rho Vc is a rate of heat transfer into delta T And finally I get the another way you can also write as HL by K upon rho VL divided by K, sorry, rho VL divided by mu into mu Cp by K. You can again get the same formula, and this way you can find it out. The Stanton number is, you can write as Nusselt number upon rho VL, that is Reynolds number, and the Prandtl numbers. So it is again establish a correlationship between the dimensionless number. Peclet number, it is a ratio of mass heat flow rate by the convection to the flow rate by conductions under an unit temperature gradients through the thickness of F. So again, Peclet number you can write it down as PE, which is equals to the Q convection divided by Q conduction. So Q convection is, you can write it down as a rho AV into Cp divided by Ka upon L, because delta T is 1. So finally you get rho VL into mu Cp, here it is divided by mu, and mu Cp by K. So finally it is again dimensionless number, and you can get the Peclet numbers as equals to the Reynolds number into Prandtl numbers. So this is the definitions or understanding of Peclet numbers. Now we are moving towards the last number, that is a Graetz number, and Graetz number is defined as the ratio of heat capacity of a fluid flowing through the pipe per unit area to the conductivity of the pipe material. Here you must have to remember, here the thermal conductivity is of not of the fluid, it is the thermal conductivity of surface property, that is a pipe material. So the Graetz number that we can define as G equals to m dot mass flow rate into the Cp, that is called as the heat capacity of flowing fluid divided per length divided by the thermal conductivity of pipe. So in this way you can be relate, or if you go for the simplification, then the G is having the functions of the pi by 4 times into Reynolds number into Prandtl's number into again dimensionless formula, that is D by L. So finally we can write down that G equals to the Peclet numbers, a Peclet number into the pi D upon 4 into L, because Reynolds into Prandtl you can write as a Peclet numbers. So this is the all 7 dimensionless number which is repeatedly asked in GTU examinations.